Hi, my name is Lili. I'm a second year law student at the University of York, and today I'm going to be running you through problem-based learning, aka PBL, why we do it, how it runs, and how it's improved my experience at university. So at the University of York, you do problem-based learning throughout your first and your second year, and it runs for your modules titled Foundations in Law, which you do numbers 1 through 6 of. Foundations in Law is basically one big catch-all module in which you study EU law, property law, criminal law, obligations law, and public law all at the same time. Problem-based learning runs in 2-hour sessions, and it's not run at all like a traditional seminar, which is one of the reasons that Uni of York is so unique in the way that it does law. And in my opinion, it works super well, and I've really enjoyed it. So your 2-hour block is going to be split up in half, and in your first hour, you'll do what's called feedback, and in your second hour, you'll do what's called pickup. You'll run through PBL sessions with your student law firm, which is a group of usually around 10 to 14 people, but it depends on the year, and these are the people that you'll stay with in your PBL sessions the entire year. I'll start by explaining pickup, which is where your student law firm will get given a problem that relates to 2 areas of law, and then you have to go through, come up with the key parties and their interests, the main issues, key facts and chronology, a summary of it, and then you go through it and make a big mind map and figure out what the key legal issues are and come up with what are called module learning outcomes, which are basically the big questions that arise from the problem that you've been given. And then in the first hour, which is feedback, you'll go through from your problems from last week and feed them back as a group. You'll also have a chair and a scribe for every session, and your chair is the person who will lead the session. They'll ask people for their answers and feedback, and then when it comes to the pickup, they'll run through the entire structure of PBL, and then the scribe is the person who goes through and writes everything down, puts it into your group's Google Drive. I think learning about PBL was definitely one of my big selling points on choosing the University of York a couple of years ago, and I definitely think it's really improved my university experience, and here's why. The first and big one, I think, for a lot of people in my experience is that it means that we have no traditional exams and we get contribution grades. So rather than having any sit down timed exams at the Uni of York, we instead have a lot of coursework. But we also have contribution grades, which in my experience have worked out to be 20% of some of my modules, namely most of the Foundations in Law modules and the Legal Skills modules. And this is basically just not a measure of how much you contribute, but how much you meaningfully contribute each PBL session. And it just proves how much work you're putting in consistently throughout the year, how you've developed as a chair and a scribe, stuff like that. For me, this has meant that I feel so much more confident in actively applying the law because I'm going in every week knowing that I need to contribute, and it means that I'm motivated to do my own research and make sure that I'm understanding all of the key concepts so that I can go in and actively apply the research that I found to the problem that we were given in the previous week. In my experience as well, this has meant that I've become a lot more confident in using legal jargon and talking about the law. Another reason that PBL has really improved my experience at university is the legal research skills that you gain from doing PBL are so imperative to being able to be successful in the rest of your degree. There's no required reading whatsoever for PBL. You'll get an independent study guide or an ISG, which is just a document that they give us sort of as a starting point, helping us ease ourselves into the research, but everything you do from there is completely on your own terms. So it helps you to be able to find trustworthy sources and makes it easier to write essays in the future because you know where to look for your sources. One of the best things about PBL for me in the past year and a half has been the friends that I've made through PBL. Because you work with the same student law firm all throughout your first year and then another one throughout your second year, you get really close with the people in your group because you spend a lot of time together. In my first year, I didn't have any classes without my student law firm. A bond really starts to form with each other because you spend so much time a week together, and I can say fully that I have made some of my best friends at university from my student law firms. Even beyond that though, in my opinion, going into the workforce, having group work skills is extremely important, and throughout the year you get to learn how to work together as a group, what learning styles work for you as a group, and basically just how to function with people that maybe learn differently from you and have different experiences than you, and I think that's absolutely imperative. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the skills that chairing PBL sessions have given me. Before coming to university, I don't know that I would say I was somebody who was fully confident in leading a room of people, but through chairing PBL sessions, I feel like I've gained so many leadership skills, but beyond that, I've also gained a lot of confidence in directly applying those leadership skills, which again is just imperative experience. I hope you found this video useful in learning what PBL is, learning why we do it and the structure of it, and hearing firsthand from a University of York student why, in my opinion, it's improved my university experience so much and how it might improve yours too.